Hi and welcome back to Cheeky Crypto. My name's Chris and it's fantastic to have you back with us for another video. And in today's video we're joined by Matt Dixon, the CEO and founder of advice.io. They utilize artificial intelligence and machine learning to rate cryptocurrencies so you can identify the underlying value without any human intervention. So a fantastic platform. Matt has over 18 years pro trader experience. So yeah, fantastic to have him on the channel. If you enjoy this sort of content, mash up that like button, subscribe if you haven't subscribed already, tapping that bell, selecting all the notifications so you never miss a video. And don't forget to comment below what you would like Matt to chart up next week.
Hi guys, thank you for having me once again at Cheeky Crypto. I've got quite a bit to go through today. We're going to go through 10 different tokens. I've tried to address some of the ones that have been requested. I know there's lots that haven't, but honestly, I get so many nowadays, which is great news. Thank you for that. But I can only cover so many in the time that we have. I just wanted to touch on, we've been just following last few days, some of the eBay upgrades. One was Tornado, which today alone, which as you know, I'm sure most of you know, it's been quite a down day, a bit of a sell-off day for Bitcoin and most of the market. But this was one that's picked out by the eBay ratings. It's up 23.5% today, and that's despite this little sell-off here. Despite that, it's still up 23.5% today. eBay has been identifying some fantastic winners. There's one that's up 70% yesterday. So not every single one, but usually if you jump on them as soon as you get the upgrade, especially in the up market, you get some tremendous gains. As I say, even in the down market, we still had 23.5% on this one. But I'm going to jump over to the regular. I think we'll just move this over here out of the way. So we're going to run through quite a few. So we just started one harmony, just looking first of all at the big picture once again. So we can see from the top here, the origin, as we usually, I always go through this, the ABC down, ABC up. So the next wave down, the C wave, this is corrective because if it comes down in 3 waves and up in 3 waves, it's corrective, meaning that we're going to go to new all-time highs at some point. So any of those, as I've said before, who are trapped in the market, don't worry about it. At some point, we'll go higher. I personally believe we're heading lower for the time being. So if we've had 3 down, 3 up, there's 2 alternatives. It's either going to be 3 waves down, which would then be a WXY correction, or if it's 5 waves, it'd be a flat correction, which is 3 down, 3 up, and 5 down, which will be a flat correction. And then you can get 3 types of flat correction, 3 main types of flat correction. I'm expecting this to be a regular flat because we started. The B wave was roughly where we started, virtually the same price. I'm expecting the C wave, most likely on a regular flat, to probably equal the bottom of this A wave here. That's the most likely scenario. That being the case, we're looking at prices around that 13.5 level, 13.5 level. So we'll just focus in a little bit shorter time frame on this to try to see where we're at, because a lot of people have been saying this is a very sort of strange sideways movement that we've been having. So from the top of that B wave, we've had the move down, which I've labeled here as the A wave. From there, we had this funny triangle wedge kind of movement, and it turned out that the first wave up was an A wave up, and then we had a triangle B wave. Now, a triangle B wave sloping down is basically a bull flag, and then breaking from the triangle, you're going to break higher from that. So if it's basically a bull flag is normally a sloping down, as this is generally sloping down from the A wave previous to it. So as it sloped down, you'd expect to break higher, which is exactly what happened. So we had the red little A wave here, then we had the triangle B wave in red here, which is made up of A, B, C, D, E, and then the B wave here, which is little red C wave, but it's a bigger B wave. So this is all A, B, C makes up a bigger B wave. So the B wave, in my view, is complete. I don't really see any reason why it's not complete. It's complete. So we'll just open it out just a little bit more to see where we're going from that completion of that B wave. So from the completed B wave, we're expecting a C wave down. So I'll probably open it out even a little bit more. So we now need to see this C wave down. So I've opened it out. So from the top of there, a C wave down will probably be made up, because it's it's probably going to be made up of either 5 waves down or 3 waves down, but the A wave is always made up of 5 waves. So within this A wave here, this movement down, we've got in blue 1, 2, and then the wave 3 is made up itself of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in red, which makes the bigger blue 3 wave. Then a zigzag 4, wave 4 here, and then a 5th wave down. That completes the A wave down. Now this is where we're at the moment, kind of thing. So from the A wave down, this was the low point we saw recently of 17.4-ish on one harmony. So from there, we've had some kind of wave higher, which I propose is, it's either the completed, so we've got the red A wave down here, it's either a completed B wave, or it could be, the reason it's a bit complicated, but people are thinking that Elliott wave should be precise. It should be over here, but you have problems or difficulty in identifying which fractal you're in. So this could either be a completed B wave, or the B wave could be made up of A, B, C itself. Now, I think that's actually entirely possible. I think we could actually break higher, and my most probable target, if it breaks a bit higher, would be 20.7, sorry, yeah, 20.7 cents, basically. That would be an equivalent wave to this projected to here. I'll just show you that, just to show you what I mean. So I measure the size of this A wave here. You can see from top to bottom. It's about that. So from the top of the wave here to the bottom of the wave here, then I'll just move it to the bottom of this wave. And you can see it brings me precisely to my target level here of 20.7 cents, 0.207. So that would be my target. So if that's the case, instead of the wave ending here, it would just mean it ends here instead. So just a little bit higher. That's actually looking as a reasonable probability at the moment. Now, it doesn't invalidate anything at all, because the move from here, from this B wave down, basically to be invalidated would have to really exceed this up here. That's looking unlikely. We've got 5 waves down. We've got, probably it's going to be A, B, C. So I think this is, whilst it's resistance, this previous wave 4, top of wave 4 is resistance for it breaking through. I suspect we may get a breakthrough and probably go to this point most likely. If that happens, then I'd still expect strong movement down. I'm not buying it because the wave could be complete here. We could still have an ABC complete here. So it's either a small ABC here or a big ABC here. From an Elliott wave perspective, you can't tell for certain which fractal you're in. It all needs to have the right look about it. And actually the right look for this one is that this is A, B, and we're still expecting C higher to finish the correction higher. So I certainly won't be buying it, because it could be over here and we could actually just be messing around waiting for the big downturn. It'll obviously depend quite a bit on what's going on in the wider financial markets, with interest rates, with inflation, with Ukraine, Russia, all that sort of thing. So the wave count will fit in precisely with the fundamental news, you can be sure of that. So we'll just move down quickly to Bitcoin. So Bitcoin once again is looking, yeah, so we're still within that channel. So you can see Bitcoin anyway, having moved within this big channel. So we had an X wave at the top. So it's going to be A, B, and finish off down with a Y wave. And my target, as you're probably aware, is right down at the 25,000 level. That's the ideal target. A lot of people are saying Bitcoin finished here, because that is actually a perfect finish point for the price, because it is actually a long parallel channel. And if we actually, it's because we're on the 1 hour, it's not showing the whole channel. But you can see here the channel, how it's made up. And it's actually is potentially valid. This would be what's called a running flat, where the price of this wave goes higher than this previous wave. And then the next wave down, instead of being a regular flat where it would end at the same level, or an expanded flat where it would end lower, so it could still be either of those. It can be any one of these flat corrections, really. And if it is a flat, by the way, this will be counted as 5 waves down. But whatever it is, we it can be either complete here, or it could be a regular flat which would end here, or running flat ending down here. So one of those three scenarios. So from this point here, as I said before, it's potentially a good buy here with a stop loss just below. So whatever the scenario, whichever wave count, and it could be, as I'm saying here, it could be three separate counts, either regular, flat, or running flat, or expanded flat. So it could be any of those three scenarios. So you've got to trade just keeping all three of those potential scenarios in mind. I've had a lot of requests for 𝗕𝗘𝗪𝗔𝗥𝗘, VeChain. It's a phenomenal token. It's kind of following the same sort of pattern as many. It's a big WXY correction from the top. So I've had A down, B up, C down, which makes a W. Then we've had a typical kind of X correction, and I'm expecting the Y correction. So I've got A, B, and I'm expecting we couldn't go to the full 100% extension because that'd take us to a negative price, which clearly isn't possible. So I'm expecting equal legs is the most common, but it can't happen. It's impossible here. So the most likely is actually to we've reached the 50% already, which I knew was going to be a potential support here. And there's actually a Fibonacci relationship between the A wave and the B wave here at that point. So as we've had a B wave higher, I'm expecting a further wave down, and the next second most common relationship would be the 6.618 for this remaining Y wave to complete. So 618 would give us a price of 3 cents on VET. So I think it's one with probably the greatest potential to bounce once we reach these bottoms of any of the big, well-respected tokens. So it's one of my favorites. I am still looking for substantially lower on price, but if we reach these lows, then it will be bargain basement prices and time to get in. I've been asked about Luna. So Luna is, again, it's just the typical, we've got three waves down, looks like some kind of three waves up, and then a three wave down for basically an ABW, effectively then X, and then we've got A. And then once again, a little bit of confusion here as to which fractal we're on, but from the A, we're going to come up in some kind of B wave. So either the B wave was complete here, I've got it labeled in a red A actually, but either it was complete here, and then we get the final C wave down to give us the Y, which will be the complete wave down, or a little bit like 𝗕𝗃𝗪𝗔𝗥𝗘, we can possibly go, this could be a small A, a small B, and the C wave would finish perhaps a little bit higher up here. So again, I'm not buying this market because at some point I do expect it to go quite a bit lower and below this previous A wave, which is at $42. So I am expecting lower price below this A. So it could go higher, it may go lower from here. It may just already be an A wave down, a B wave up, and then we're expecting C wave down to finish. So whilst there's uncertainty, I do know at some point, I'm very confident at least, it's going lower. So I'm not prepared to buy just for the potential it might go up here. I'd rather wait because at some point it really should go lower, and that will be our time for to buy VET and get the big gain higher to new all-time highs. So I would expect this is extremely corrective. It's not in waves of 5. Everything is overlapping. You couldn't call this 1, 2, 3 because that overlaps 1. It's all overlapping. It's corrective movement. So you will expect, once this correction is complete, you do expect to move to new all-time highs. So again, looking for a great one there on Luna. Sorry, not VET. I keep saying VET. Luna here we're on, aren't we? XRP. It's actually a fairly similar story. We're looking at a massive correction down. I think I'll just shrink that even more, just to show from the top. We've basically got an ABW down, A, B, which is almost definitely not complete, but I'm thinking this is looking looking tremendously positive for the future. once we complete this move down, it could even be that we're actually in a triangle. This could actually work out to be a triangle. And if it does, the impulse higher from the triangle is going to be aggressive. So I'll be following that with interest and keeping you all updated on it through Twitter, through these cheeky crypto recordings, because if this is a triangle, it's my favorite chart pattern. From a triangle, you'll expect very aggressive movement out of it. I was just going to revisit Bitcoin just to look at it on a different scale slightly. I mean, we've seen the big channel, but I want to just look at it on a slightly shorter scale here, and just to show where we are today. Here's the channel that we were looking at. Sorry, this is actually a different channel I've drawn from the X wave, and showing that we potentially, so we've got a W, we've got an X, and then within the Y we've got A, B, and I'm expecting a Y wave down, all within this channel here. So whilst we had a big channel, which encompassed a much wider price movement, here we've got a smaller channel looking just at the final Y wave. So from the X here, as I say, we've got A, B, and we're just messed around at the top of the channel. I think we're going to be, you know, this might not be precise. The B wave might not go right up to the top of the channel again. It's more likely to be A, B, C, which will take us down to the Y wave. So this is still my preferred count, taking us down to 25, and it fits with some good Fibonacci levels here, a good Fibonacci extension. And again, once again, this looks to be an extremely corrective move. It doesn't look impulsive down. So I do think, in line with the cross correlation between tokens, I think this one is also set to go lower. Matic is one that's always being asked for by everybody. I've not got any Fibonacci measurements in here, but again, just once again, we can see there's a corrective movement here coming down. So it's all overlapping once again. So you can see this wave up here overlaps this wave down here. So I would expect this correction is not complete. I think this is an ABC, so which are called W, an ABCX, and I think this could be an ABCY to finish. So a little bit like the others. I don't believe the down move is complete. I mean, this isn't corrective. This is corrective down, and it isn't impulsive higher. You know, again, it's overlapping moves. So I'm expecting further movement down on Matic. Litecoin, I'm always being asked about Litecoin as well. It's, let's just see. So just try and look at the picture again from the, I think I'll try and zoom out a little bit more if I can. Yeah. Not really that helpful. So we're definitely seeing further correction down. We've seen ABW, this some kind of X wave. If I looked at it, it might even be, yeah, it's some kind of X wave here. Then an ABC A wave, an ABC B wave, and we're moving down in the final Y wave. So all the tokens seem to be similar sort of patterns. Yeah, so we got here, potentially we got a triangle here, so A, C, D, E, and then a thrust down from the triangle. Yeah, so an X wave is often, by the way, is often a triangle, so that'd be reasonable. So from the X wave, we've got an A wave, a B wave, and I'd still expect the final C wave down, which will make the final Y wave. So I always look at triangles are often in. And when a triangle finishes, so you could look at it with it, if you expanded it out some more, you would actually look and see internally, you'll see that the waves are corrective. So the three wave movements inside, they're all three wave movements. And so from an E wave, the E wave doesn't have to follow the, so if I just put the trend line on here, so from A to C across, E wave is the one that doesn't have to follow the trend line. And we've got, you can see a fairly flat bottom for this, but anywhere up from the D wave, you could have potentially sold this knowing we're going to break through this trend line here. Triangles are the best chart patterns to trade. They're the most predictive patterns that there are. So I always look out for these triangles. They're a great pattern which only occur in wave B or wave 4 position. So from there, again, we've had the A down, the B up, and we're expecting C down to come to lower than this point here. So we're expecting quite a bit lower here on Litecoin to come to new lows before, once again, because this is corrective, once again, we're going to blast much higher on Litecoin. Here's one, don't know a great deal about this token. Doesn't really matter because I'm just looking at technical analysis here, and these charting patterns don't really care much about what the token does, but it's still quite an interesting, quite a clear chart pattern that we've had some kind of strong move down here, a B wave here, and then this, I counted this. The reason I put this Fibonacci tool on here, so if I start from the top of the wave here and take it to the B wave, to the bottom of wave 1, so just start from the top of this B wave, measure down to 1 here, which is 100%, and then just transpose that over to the start of wave 2 there. It's about there anyway. So we're round about, it's not quite exact, but around about 2.618. As long as it's more than 1.618, we know we've had a wave 3 in place. I'm just double checking that. So we know we've had a wave 3 in place. So as long as the wave 3 here is more than 1.618, which it certainly is, it's just about 2.618, then I know this wave 3 is complete. It could have even been complete here, and that could be complete as an A wave, and then B wave, then a C down. So it's either 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or it's basically, that's 5 waves there, A, B, and a C wave down. Either way, doesn't really matter. We are expecting lower prices for Rose. It's been it's obviously come down a long way, as have most tokens, but probably still some way to go. Just finally, Anchor. It's been one of the better tokens of late. Had some really good gains, but it did come from much higher previously again. If you look at the big picture on this, so it's a little bit like 𝗕𝗓𝗪𝗔𝗥𝗘 in a way. So if you look from the top, it's almost identical picture. You'd almost have to check that I am charting Anchor and not 𝗕𝗓𝗪𝗔𝗥𝗘. So you can see it's a corrective move down here for W. It's not impulsive once again because everything is overlapping. So there's no way you can count 5 waves here because it's not allowed to overlap. So I've got a W here, got an AB, X here, so I've got the X wave here, and then we're moving down the Y wave. So once again, this is expecting to be probably a regular flat correction because the X wave here was almost the same as the top of this origin wave here. So because of that, I'm expecting most probably we'll get the Y wave virtually equal to W wave here. So a fair target, and one way you might want to look at buying, would be 4.7, 4.8 cents, somewhere around 4.8 cents. You might want to start thinking about bagging up a whole load of Anchor here, and you should push to new all-time highs on it. So if you can catch it at this sort of price around the 4, or say 5 cent mark, you're looking potentially even to get to the level point here. From an Elliott wave perspective, all we have to do is exceed this. We can make projections. I would expect it to go way beyond this corrective move here. I'd expect it to blast way beyond, but a fair target, if you actually buy up here, I think you can be confident. You can actually just put your take profit just below this line up here. It may blast through, but so what? If you can take this much profit, 4x on your trade, you don't need to worry. So I'd just put my take profit already in place. And if it goes higher, let other people take those risky gains. Let us take the sure gains. So let's wait for a little bit more downside on this and nearly every other token and get ready to pile in, and we can sit pretty then and just have price targets for our take profit, and then we'll look at what we do from there. We'll look at how the price movement has progressed, whether it's looking as though there's going to be further progression from there. But basically, don't make all your decisions this far in advance, but you can plan, for the next move down. That'll be time to buy in, and then we'll make our plans as the price moves from there. So been through a lot today. Hope it's been helpful, and look forward to coming next week. And again, keep coming through with those requests. I'll do my best to cover as many as I can. Thank you.
Super. Thanks, Matt. So a big thank you to Matt for coming on the show. Do let us know in the comments below what you would like Matt to chart next week. If you enjoyed the content, hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't subscribed already, tapping that bell, selecting all the notifications so you never miss a video, and I'll catch you in the next one. Take care.